when you match stories of Krishna, it's often said that Jesus was actually Krishna. Now here there's an overlap with Sant Tukaram. Tukaram also threw all his books, his manuscripts, into the water, and the people carried forward his learnings. There's an overlap over here of the same story. So I wonder.
Yeah, it's a very interesting metaphor about one's relationship with one's own creation, so to speak, and the idea of transience at work there. And I'm not so, I mean, I throw away my own text, I destroy my, and of course it's today in postmodernist kind of ideas when the death of the author and all that is much more fashionable. But Bithai kind of has a very lot of disdain for his text. He says it's not much use. He kind of disowns it, but it brings back from somebody else who's somebody for whom it's valuable, and it kind of comes back into circulation. So there are very interesting kind of layers of stories that are worked there, which.
What really fascinated me was the basic rhythm of the imagery and the music, and I mean the whole thing is very melodiously kind of put together. So was it a thought that you began with? I mean, partly you've already said that you started with the music, therefore probably music was in the background at all the time in your mind when we were shooting, and most of the images which probably don't have anything else to do with the life in Kutch except a natural connection that it is there. But the fish, for example, coming up a peed, or the flamingos, or the camels, the basic rhythm, was there a conscious thought that you want all of that to be in the rhythm that the music is being played on, or did that just happen?
The music was so overwhelming, and one allowed it to enter one's own skin, and then I think I did the camera myself, so I had somewhere kind of that music as part of that image. I mean, when I kind of shot the film. Also, I think we also edited it perfectly to music, and I mean that was every image was kind of worked around with the music, and also I mean. The philosophy of Shah Abdul Latif Bithai is constantly emphasizing the insignificance of human beings in the large scheme of things, and also the inability for us to kind of take control, because the most significant, the most fundamental human experience is grief. We have little control over what happens. So we've kind of attempted, that's an operation word here, kind of allow things to wash over. And without much, as a camera person, I didn't do much movements or allow things to pass across and kind of observe those details. So many cases, it's things traveling across the screen, be it a bird or a truck or a dragonfly, so it kind of, without actually intervening much. And also it moved across, it kind of transient, it just disappeared from one's own vision, so to speak. So that's a kind of imagery that one kept in mind. And also has, both the films, we edited it slightly differently from whatever work we've done before, because it's kind of much relaxed kind of pace, because that's Kutch is kind of, it does that to you, because it's got a different time scale, and the spectacular nature of this is kind of, it's very different scale. So one allowed that to kind of come in, and also there's a certain kind of impatience with images that we have all kind of learned thanks to television, where 5 seconds is long time. So also kind of one is also militating against that idea of editing, kind of. There are a couple of minutes long shots. One is trying to, because we thought it is necessitated by the kind of rhythm of that music and the poetry that one is kind of interacting with.
The textual part of both the music and what people are saying and the interpretation of that space, that sort of recedes into abstraction and allows the musical rhythm or the landscape's rhythm to get foregrounded, which really, I think, resonates with that one line that you can spend a lifetime interpreting these 3 lines, because that's the only way to, I think, access music where you have the text. It's not as if the text, the Punnu story, Sasi Punnu story is not forgotten at all. But somehow the pathos of the story sort of gets compounded because of the musical rhythm that you allow both the landscape and the music to hold forth. And for me, that's really one of the most special things about this film. And oddly, in a very different way, it connects with the earlier film as well, where that landscape very quietly keeps coming in and out of what is happening inside the train compartment, and again allows you to, I think about a much longer history and get into really very many facets. So I think these two films together also allowed that complexity to come through very beautifully.
Your film actually opens with two trucks moving into the landscape and then they vanish. Spook. I mean, it was very interesting, but why?
I think in the earlier film we chanced upon this image of three animals walking across the horizon. That's our Do Din Ka Mela starts with. There's a 3-minute long film, a 3-minute long shot, which actually it's a blank frame and one by one Neel guys walk into the frame, and they take 3 minutes to go. Great distance, exactly, almost similar to the image that you see there. It's on the edge. So it took 3 minutes to do that. So we thought we'll do with the truck here. I mean, it's more like a kind of a humorous take on the same, instead of the animal. And he's talking to the other person.